Hi, Dr. Joe Study Group. I'm Persia. This is my husband, Grace. Um, so, Dr. Joe's information is really fantastic. I love how much science he puts into it, and his main message is that we need to clear out the programming and conditioning, domestication, and old stories that we have in our life. Um, and this is actually something that I've studied in numerous lineages, and I work in a shamanic background, actually with a colleague at Dr. Joe's who's published many, many books at Hay House, like Dr. Joe. But he trained me through the medicine wheel through a shamanic program from Peru. And it's quite normal for all of us to get stuck, especially in the beginning, when we're still learning these tools and trying to figure out how to find even what it is that needs to be cleared out.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for 14 years, and Grace has been doing it for 6 years. We've worked on ourselves because in our lineage, you can't actually work on other people until you master these things within yourself. So I've been seeing clients daily for 14 years. So the upper chakras will act up if the lower chakras are blocked and you try to open them. This is something we learn very early on in our program. And in fact, particularly with the third eye, which is the topic that you all were interested in, we're actually taught that on the day that you open the third eye, you better be ready to clear stuff because people can get queasy and nauseous or fearful. And there's a specific reason for that, which we have an intervention for clearing, and we do it usually immediately in our program and training. So the lower chakras are where most of our early childhood stuff, a lot of the unconscious patterns are stuck, some of the trauma coping mechanisms and imprints, what we call imprints or patterns, conscious patterns that are passed down in our ancestral lineage. And they just become unspoken stories that are believed in our ancestral lineage that are very specific to those lineages. And they're passed down through the bloodline, sometimes many generations back. So we're able to immediately, when we work with people, even before the session begins, we actually look into their chakras and energetic body, and we see precisely what took place and what agreements they're holding and what chakras are holding them. And we've been on this journey working on ourselves for a long time, and sometimes we still need help. So it's good to have people to reach out when you get stuck. Um,
But I think even Dr. Joe has you start basically at the first chakra and work your way up. So if you skip working the bottom chakras and just skip straight to the top chakras, that can cause some of these traumas to like surface rapidly.
there's actually something called a pranic tube in the center of our central nervous system, and it's an empty space that fills with light. I think Dr. Joe talks about this, but that's where all the chakras actually align with each other. So they're not separate; they're connected to each other, and we always heal the wounds in the lowest chakras before clearing the upper chakras. Sometimes in our practice, if an upper chakra is blocked, we'll heal, the solar plexus or the root chakra, and immediately the upper chakra doesn't even need work. It's only blocked by the energy stuck in the lower chakra. Um, that's quite common too. So I hope that was helpful. Is there anything else I forgot to say?
Just if you are in the middle of trying to open the upper chakras and you're experiencing some fear, some panic, maybe even some of these childhood traumas or unhealed things that are coming up, um, that's a good time to then stop and get recentered and then go back and start from the beginning and start looking at the traumas that are in the lower chakras and start working. I think Joe even has a whole process for this if you
Yeah,
want to use his process, or reach out to other people to have some assistance in guiding you through
we definitely
looking
help
at those
people.
traumas.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do this every single day with
Yeah.
people, and we can find the exact memories instantaneously.
But don't try to keep working and opening the upper chakras if you're having these responses, because that means there's some trauma or a belief in the lower ones,
Or
that's
something more technical that we won't even get into
yeah.
all the complexities and technical things, but there can be energies that don't belong to you that are needing to be taken out through shamanic methods that we do. There's a lot we can heal on our own. So Dr. Joe is spot on, and that's really fantastic. He's teaching a process for how to become aware of what you believe and to discredit it and to realize that it's not serving you, it's taking power away from you. And then, with a very loving, compassionate process, to allow it to integrate so that really, when it's counterintuitive, because in order to let go of these things, we actually have to embrace them. We don't do any, fancy spiritual process um, to try to just go into positive feeling. We actually let the feeling be seen so that it can be released. And sometimes that seems counterintuitive. Like, if I let it be seen, I'm just going to exaggerate it and get stuck there and it'll never move. The only thing that gets it stuck is resistance. When we resist it, we're actually feeding it more energy. So the thing to do is to have deep, compassionate understanding for it. And that brings it into the heart where it becomes integrated and no longer um, has power over us. So that's how we call our power back. We're really aligning what's untrue in the enlightened state and bringing the enlightened state to wash away and purify those things that we've held on to because we didn't have other choices at the time that certain traumas or certain beliefs were ingrained into us. We didn't have other choices at those times, but we do now. And this takes time to learn. It's an ongoing process. It's something that even this bit that I spoke about, that's the core piece of it. Can you look at something and bring it into your heart in order for it to be transmuted and transfigured so that you can move forward with then creating what you want instead? That's what Dr. Joe teaches. But that process takes time to learn. And from our perspective, because we specialize in the energy body, there are things that get stuck in there, and there are things that are veiled and hidden from us that we need help with on occasion when we can't do it on our own. And it's wonderful. We need to learn these skills regardless of whether or not we sometimes need help. We all should learn these skills. But this is exactly what we specialize in. So,
all
yeah.
right. Good
So,
luck.
good luck, and feel free to contact us if you do run into a stuck energy and need help.